Hey, what's up, everybody? Casey here to talk Nintendo E3 impressions and reactions to the Direct that took place on Tuesday. It is Thursday, so E3 is wrapping up. And let's just get right into it. Well, I guess before we start, I was gonna actually play some games, but I figured it'd probably be a little too distracting between playing and then sort of breaking up to get getting involved with the game and then jumping back out to talk impressions. So I just figured we'll just talk impressions. We can always play some more games another day. As you can see, my cat, little Momo in the background over there, climbing around, being crazy. Probably wants to go outside. What are you doing? But all right, without further ado, let's get into it. Started off with a Puppet Iwata, which was interesting. Last year they did the Robot Chicken approach to it, which was pretty cool. So it was fun to see them sort of take similar fun approach to the Direct and how it would go. And the first game they revealed was probably the biggest game over the entire Direct, and that was Star Fox, now titled Star Fox Zero. We knew that was coming, and first look at it visually it was all right. Nothing crazy compared to what we saw with Mario Kart, um, which looks phenomenal. Oh, excuse me. Star Fox, it doesn't look bad, but it won't be the most beautiful game on the Wii U, but it actually looked like a return to form. It looked very much along the lines of Star Fox 64, which is great because that's personally my favorite Star Fox game. So if they were to go back to that kind of gameplay, I think that would be good and a very fun title. They showed off some different transformations. The Landmaster obviously makes its return. The Gyro Wing, which is a new. Oh, what are you doing? Sorry about that. The Gyro Wing, which is sort of a cool looking, hover-y looking craft. They showed off, I believe, when you were in that, you could drop off a little robot, which actually sort of looked like Rob, the robot, and you could sort of control him off to, as they showed off in there, they went into like a sort of like a little ventilation system, and there was a coin and a switch in there that they had to take care of. And then there was also the I guess maybe this would be their answer for ground. Instead of getting out of your R-Wing, it sort of transforms into almost like a chocobo-looking type transformation, and you could run around and shoot that way, which looked pretty cool as well. We found out, actually not through the Direct, but after the Direct, that it is actually being made by Nintendo, obviously, working with Platinum Games, which is pretty cool. Platinum's pretty reputable um, developer. They've for Wii U. They the guys behind Bayonetta 2, Wonderful 101, some pretty fun titles. They're usually more into the action games, but I think they could definitely handle taking Star Fox, which with Nintendo should be a pretty fun title. That's coming out in holiday 2015, so it'll be out this year. And I think that's definitely the big Wii U title of 2015, which is good and bad. I think since they sort of told us last year that it was going to be out in 2015, we knew coming into E3 that this was going to be a big point of emphasis for this year's E3. So that came with little to no surprise. That Miyamoto, and they showed him going to shrines, and where inspiration came from when he first started making Star Fox with the arches going underneath, which was also pretty interesting to get a little glimpse into that. And then from Star Fox, they jumped into the Amiibo Skylanders crossover. They announced that there's going to be two new Amiibo slash Skylanders. the turbocharged Donkey Kong, and the Hammer Slam Bowser. And they actually look pretty cool. I've never gotten into the Skylanders. I definitely own quite a few amiibo, as you can sort of see. Whoop, not very well, but they're back over there, lined over there on the TV, and there's more over here too. Um, it's cool. I think this is big. It would be maybe a way to get maybe some people who might go to different platforms to come to the Wii U and play. I mean, I don't think it'll sell systems, but if you have a Wii U and your kids, maybe it'll be good to get them into the Nintendo side of things. Maybe that goes. Maybe they love Donkey Kong. They want to try Tropical Freeze. You know, I think it could only benefit Nintendo in that sense. And what's interesting is there's actually on the bottom of the figurine there was a dial that you would switch between Amiibo mode and Skylanders mode. So I thought that was sort of interesting. But again, I think that was not it didn't affect me too much. I won't be getting either of these, but pretty cool little thing for Nintendo. I think it'll only help their cause with pushing more amiibos, which I don't think that's really a problem. We know those things fly off the shelf. But just to get maybe a younger audience into Nintendo games, which they might not otherwise have gotten into. And then from there, we got surprised with a brand new title, Zelda Triforce Heroes for the 3DS. It's actually coming out holiday 2015, which again another cool game. It sort of looks like the new take on the Four Swords Adventures, but they emphasize that instead of competing against one another in Four Swords, you're trying to get the most rupees or whatever have you. That this would be more cooperative play to work your way through the dungeons and continue through the game. There would definitely be quite a bit of trolling, as I caught some of the Treehouse Live for that game, and you could tell like the mechanic would be that they have to build a totem, so there would be a switch. I guess you could think of it as three different layers. Three different layers of planes. Where if it's on the second, you stack two links, and then they can, you could shoot your bow and arrow to hit a switch. Or if it's three links, you could do that. And they had quite a bit of trolling where the bottom link might toss the other two links into a pit to die. But the other interesting thing with this title is that you pick different outfits for each of your Link. A couple of them I made notes here from the whole direct, so that's what I'm referencing when I'm looking down this way. Different attires. They had like a big bomb or the spin attack, and it's interesting to see Link in a Princess Zelda clothing. Take that as you will. But it seems like a pretty fun game. Very obviously multiplayer focused. They did say it would be online play as well, and they do have single player. You can take, if you go into the game single player, the other two links will still be there, but I believe they use the term dolls. I could be wrong, I could be mixing that up. But essentially you can switch between any of the links at any time on the fly. So I saw a couple puzzles where you would have one link sort of use an item to get another link to a different platform, and that link would have to do a different action. So I'm assuming in single player you'd shoot them over there, and then you would switch links. When you're in the other link, then at that point in time, then you could hit the switch, then you could jump back to the other link and run over type thing. So it is cool that they have that it won't just be strictly multiplayer game. Obviously, they don't want to do that. It seems like it'd be most fun local co-op, which is sort of a shame for me because I don't really have too many people that I'd be able to play that game with. But online play is definitely makes it good, makes it something I will definitely be picking up this year. And then straight from Triforce Heroes, they jumped into the Hyrule Warriors Legends, I believe. Yep, Hyrule Warrior Legends coming out for the 3DS. It is, from what I understand, just a port, but when you buy it, you will get all of the DLC from the Wii U version, but they were also adding a few characters from the Wind Waker. It's fun to see the ship from Wind Waker come up and summon water and take out a bunch of enemies. And it seems like it's going to be fun. This one actually leaked a few days before the Direct, so this was something we knew that was coming. And that will be coming in Q1 of 2016. So I guess a shame they weren't going to get it out this year, but that's alright. We're going to need titles to keep us pushing through next year, especially as NX might be hearing more about NX next year, which I know there's been a lot of theories that it might be a combination console 3DS console portable type of machine that takes both into account. But we do definitely have a lot of 2016 titles coming for the 3DS, so I'm happy to see that, especially since that's going to be primarily what I'll be streaming. We've got a lot of good titles flowing in over the next year or so. Whoop, cat down. Let's see. After they talked about Hyrule Warriors, then they hit us with Metroid Prime Universe for the 3DS. I almost lost my shit at this point. I was super excited until they went further into what it would be. It would be Metroid Prime Blast Ball, which is like a 3-on-3 soccer type game, sort of similar to Strikers. It was seen in the Nintendo World Championships on Sunday. I actually missed that part. I did not catch the stream until a little bit later into the competition. And then also Metroid Prime Federation Force, which is a 4-player co-op game. They didn't really show much during the Direct, but I did catch the Treehouse Live afterwards, and it seems like it'd be pretty promising. The visuals are nothing to write home about, but they did show the co-op element with the guys at the Treehouse, and they had to get an ice beast, and they would have to actually lure it into like a cage, and then once it was in the cage, close the cage doors to lock it in there. But of course, he's aggroed on someone, so you need to time it with your team to get him in there, get the guy out of the cage before closing the door, because if you close the door beforehand, that guy's, he's piped. He's probably going to die, and then you'll have to open it up, get someone in there to revive him. But, of course, very close quarters. The beasts were pretty big, and they took up a majority of the cage. And for what it's worth, it looks like it could be a pretty fun game. But I know the internet outrage for this one and the Twitter blowing up, people were very, very upset. I know I've seen a petition to get the game to be canceled, which is, in my opinion, pretty stupid. It's not going to work. Nintendo has a history of doing these things that get people upset, and then once they see more of the game, they understand it more. Since it's called Metroid Prime, that's where the outrage is coming from. They want a legitimate title in the franchise, not a spin-off, especially since it's been so many years since Metroid Prime 3, and then Other M being a bit of a flop and not a big fan favorite. But that's actually being made by Next Level Games, which, as far as the Blast Ball goes, makes sense because they were the guys behind Super Mario Strikers, which is a great game. I would actually love to see that make a return to preferably the Wii U would be pretty cool, but I don't foresee that actually happening. But again, it seems, I think people will warm up to it if they catch the actual gameplay and see what the game's about. But right now, it's going to be a hard sell with that Metroid Prime name and Samus possibly not even being in the title. After that, they jumped into a series of trailers. The majority of the Direct was trailers and not really talking too much about gameplay. It seems to me that their Nintendo's philosophy was, we're going to rattle off a bunch of trailers, we're going to show people a bunch of games on the Direct, and then everyone can tune into the treehouse and watch the treehouse and get a more hands-on talking with the developers to understand the game, which is great, unless if you have a job where you can't catch up. I mean, I know the treehouse, they put all the postings on YouTube so you can watch afterwards, but that is a lot of time for people to invest. But they talk about the game for a half hour to an hour, so if you do find a game that you do actually want more, you can really go over there and check it out. But they got into Fire Emblem Fates, which is the rename for Fire Emblem If, which I believe is coming out in Japan either shortly or maybe it just came out. I forget off the top of my head. But that'll be coming out in 2016. Still unsure if there's going to be the two versions like they do have in Japan. I hope it's just one. Or maybe you buy one, and if you want to go a different route, you could buy the DLC. I'm not sure exactly how that'll work. Then they went into the Fire Emblem Cross Shin Megami Tensei for the Wii U. Very, very Japanese trailer, to the point where if you didn't know what that game was about beforehand, you're even more confused now. Very poppy, singy J-pop. I actually caught the treehouse for that one as well because I'm very interested in that title. I'm a very big Fire Emblem fan, a new but very big Shin Megami Tensei, especially on the Persona side of that franchise. I'm actually currently I'm probably going to end up beating Persona 3 Portable either tonight or tomorrow. We're getting up to the final there. So the treehouse went a little bit more into exactly how it's going to play. It looks like it's going to play more like a Persona 3, where it's definitely like a turn-based type thing, not a strategy RPG. Which again, for me, that makes me very happy. But if you're a Nintendo fan and you haven't really explored too much into the Persona side of the Shin Megami Tensei franchise, you're probably pretty confused. Or maybe upset. I know a lot of people wanted more Fire Emblem. It seems to me more that the Fire Emblem bits and pieces are more sprinkled throughout the game, where, like I said, it seems to me it's taking more of the Persona-esque feel and mechanics and then sprinkling in some of the Fire Emblem elements into it. I know they were saying they were going to play with the Persona games. When you're fighting shadows, you're going to look for their weakness. This one might be weak to a fire element, or electric element, and then with Fire Emblem, obviously you have the triangle with different weapon types. So I know they were going to mix those two in for the battle system, which seems really great. We learned a little bit. What would they call it? Persona is Personas, and it's Performa, I believe, is what they call your power, because everything is sort of revolving around that pop star, music kind of element. So everyone's sort of driven by being a performer, and they awaken their performa in them, and that's seems to be what that is the driving force behind the game. And then, but again, they didn't do a very good job explaining that during the direct, so that was sort of unfortunate. Probably left a lot of people scratching their heads after they saw that one. Then they went into Xenoblade Chronicles X, which is coming out. Finally got a release date, December 4th of this year, so another big holiday title. Very excited for this game. But as far as a hype level watching the direct, it didn't really do much. It was nice to get a date, but we've seen this for so much. It's gotten directs. It was at last E3. It's a known quantity. We know it's going to be really good. We know it's going to be a fantastic game, but it just didn't really give you that wow factor that a lot of people are hoping for. But it is good to finally get a date and know we're going to 100% be playing it this year. Then they went into the Animal Crossing Happy Home Designer. We got a date for that, September 25th of this year, so another good title we're getting. Excuse me. They went a little bit into how it would work, some more gameplay. Again, I saw a little bit of the Treehouse where they talked about it. it's going to use the amiibo cards and whatnot. Seems like it'll be a fun title, a spin-off of the Animal Crossing. And then probably the biggest Nintendo troll came immediately after that. They showed off some fantastic looking amiibo, some Tom Nook, KK Slider, I believe Isabelle amiibos. They all looked really really great. And then you see it pan down and it touches right on the Wii U gamepad. Bracing myself, and I'm sure everyone else was. Here comes Animal Crossing Wii U, a very a title a lot of people sort of almost at this point they were expecting it to be at E3. They knew, all right, we got Star Fox coming. We're gonna need a home run hitter for the holiday that's gonna sell a ton, because Star Fox is sort of that. It's a big title, but it's a little bit on the, a B title. It's not your top echelon type of game. So a lot of people were like, Animal Crossing Wii U, it has to happen. It's definitely going to happen. And then you see it hit that gamepad, and here it is. Everyone's so excited finally. And then they hit us with Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival, the board game. And ay caramba. I mean, for me personally, I'm a big Animal Crossing fan, but I prefer them on the go with the portables. It makes more sense. It's a very pick up and play kind of game. Play it for 10, 15. I don't want to have to fire up the Wii U, sit down and play it all the time. I mean, granted, don't get me wrong. If one came out, I would probably, who are we kidding? I would definitely pick it up. I would be playing it and I'd be excited for it. But nope. Animal Crossing, the board game. Mario Party, Animal Crossing, pretty much. It looks almost sort of like a more fleshed out Amiibo Party from Mario Party 10. So very interesting. That game actually, it got a holiday 2015 release date also, so it will be coming out this year. But it's just not what everyone wanted. It's a board game that requires Amiibo, so how much are they going to sell? Is this going to be a $30 game and then you need to buy all these amiibos? Is it? I think I heard they might actually package the game with an amiibo and a pack of cards, which would make a little more sense so people don't have to be spending a ton of money all over the place to just play this game. Again, it doesn't super interest me. This is probably one of the actual titles coming out this year that I probably won't be getting. But really, just the way they announced it with the gamepad and the amiibo touching it, the ultimate troll. The Nintendo trolled everyone with that one, and yeah, I know people who are even more upset about that than the Federation Force Metroid Prime game. But moving on, after that, they went into Yoshi's Woolly World. The game looks awesome. It looks fantastic. I love the look, the yarn Yoshis, the yarn everything looks fantastic. They showed the yarn Yoshi amiibo is going to give you sort of that double cherry from the latest Mario game on Wii U effect. So you have two Yoshis playing, and then they also showed that other amiibos are going to work with it as well. They tap in and they different skin for your Yoshi. He's still yarn, but he would look like a Samus or a fox. I'm not exactly sure how many or which ones are going to be compatible with that, but the game looks great. I'm really excited for it. And again, this would be a game, if they announced it this year, people would probably be losing their shit. But since we've known about this for quite some time, and it's still not coming until, I believe I have November 16th written down here, but for some reason I actually think it's October 16th. I'm pretty sure it's October. But what's frustrating is everywhere else it's being released within a couple weeks or a month or so, and we have to wait for quite some time to get that one, and we've already been waiting quite some time. So again, another a great looking game, but just the excitement level is sort of, not it didn't make you jump out of your seat when you heard about that one, or heard more about that one, I should say. And then moving on, they went to Yokai Watch. We've known this game was going to be coming for some time. I believe it was sort of more like a matter of when than if. And they actually announced 2015, holiday 2015. That's going to be big because in Japan that game is absolutely off the charts, Pokemon level status. It's a sort of a similar style game. Um, Looks pretty good. They didn't show a ton. Uh, some of these games, I think they would have been better off talking a little bit more about them than just a trailer during the direct. But overall, it looks like it'd be a pretty cool game. They have a Treehouse up that I need to check out because I'm definitely interested and gonna have to check a little bit more into that game before committing to a purchase. But probably again, I buy all these games. Probably gonna end up buying this one as well. And then after that, they went into one of the bigger surprises that sort of came out of nowhere. Hold on one sec, sorry. Just need a sip of water there, sorry. The Mario and Luigi Paper Jam is a cross between Mario and Luigi franchise and the Paper Mario franchise. Um, it looks great. I love both those franchises. I'm a huge Mario and Luigi fan. Um, really happy to see this one coming out in spring of 2016. I would have loved it if they had dropped that it was coming out this year. I'd be super excited. But spring 2016, definitely going to be a game I'm looking forward to. It was funny to see. It seems more like it's going to be a Mario and Luigi title with Paper Mario elements sprinkled in. Again, it looked very it looked very Mario and Luigi, and then you had Paper Mario following you. So now you're in control of three guys, and they showed off a couple different elements and different things that were definitely a nod to both franchises. They actually at one point had Bowser and Paper Bowser talking to each other, and regular Bowser was telling him he was a cheap ripoff, and those games are always pretty funny. And this one's going to be no different. Especially, it'll be very interesting to see the clash of the humor and different style meld into one with that franchise. Especially after the last Paper Mario was a Sticker Star was a big flop, and then I know Dream Team, Mario and Luigi Dream Team, was not well received in comparison to the other ones, despite I myself really enjoying that game. And then they actually after that they hit us off with another surprise title, Mario Tennis Ultra Smash, coming out holiday 2015. So that's really exciting. We are going to have another entry into the Mario Tennis world, which Camelot, they always do a fantastic job with those games. I really dig the Mario Tennis. I like the Mario Golf franchise better, but the Mario Tennis has always been fun. They showed off a trailer. It seems like you could get like a mushroom power up and get big, and it seems like it'll be a fun game. That's coming out 2015. They didn't say too much. They just showed, I think, only showed one court and a couple players. I think it was Bowser, Mario, Peach, and maybe Luigi. I'm not sure off the top of my head, but it looks like it'll be a good title. Like I said, nothing to blow your socks off, but another solid title for the Wii U. And then after that, they went into the Super Mario Maker, as we found out on Sunday from the Nintendo World Championships. It is now Super Mario Maker, not just Mario Maker. They actually showed a cool how they used to make the levels with the graph paper, and then if they wanted to make an edit, they would put like that see-through paper on top to make edits, and they gave a little cool background of how it used to be, and it seems almost like Mario Maker was just a tool that they've been evolving over the years as Mario games have progressed to just make it easier for them to develop games. Obviously, that's their number one reason for doing it. But then it almost just seemed like they went, let's just sort of flesh it out, make the interface probably easier to use for casual people, casual fans to jump in and play. And it looks amazing. This is going to be one that almost every Wii U owner should have. They showed off some insane different levels and worlds that they had built during the Nintendo World Championship, and it was fun to see I mean, they were making ridiculously super hard, tough levels, and it was funny to see a level and just see how. I mean, these were really good players. John Numbers ended up beating Cosmo in the final, and just to see them go through them and sort of learn as they go and see where they die, and it was a lot of fun. And I think that was the best advertisement they could have done for that game, just to show off how crazy and wacky they can get with it. They showed off a couple other things. There's going to be the special 8-bit Mario amiibo, and when you tap it, it makes your character huge, way bigger than it would be with any mushroom in game. And then they were showing it comes with the Mario Maker book, which looked really nice, and I guess they have codes in there that you can sort of enter in to get like a I can't think of the word, tablet. God, it's not coming with me. A default map, a set world, and then you could adjust off it, and it showed a lot of cool stuff. And then different amiibo functionality they had. They showed if you tap in the Wii Fit trainer, which I know a lot of people are poking jokes that sort of cruel of Nintendo to pick one of the unicorns as they call them, as one of to show off in the Direct. But then your Mario turned into a little Wii Fit trainer, 8-bit Wii Fit trainer. I saw Link got turned into a little, I think they pop a mushroom out and it's got a question mark on it. He grabbed it and then he turns into little Link. And then they were wondering, I saw a part of the Direct actually a little bit earlier streaming today, that in order to do that, like, the creator of the map must have the amiibo, but if I'm playing the world or the level you made and you tapped in Wii Fit Trainer, I would be able to play as Wii Fit Trainer because you tapped it in. I won't need that amiibo also. And they also showed that in order for it to be uploaded, you actually have to beat it. So that there won't be, a ton of levels that are unbeatable. I'm sure there would be some that are still extremely tough. But you have to actually be able to beat it to upload, which is very smart. I mean, and that actually got a release date to the 11th of September, as they put it, 9/11. I know some people thought that was a little weird, but got to get it out, and that just happens to be the date. So I'll definitely be looking forward to that. And as they wrapped up, they showed a montage of homemade, different Mario inspired YouTube videos, and it was pretty cool. It sort of ran on for a little bit longer. At the end, they showed up. It's letssupermario.com, and they saying, where are they donating? Operation Smile donations. I guess I don't know how exactly that works. Maybe off the advertising money off the videos on YouTube, or just if they get a certain amount of videos, they would donate a certain amount. But regardless, it's still a good cause. Very cool of them to do. And I know a lot of people were expecting after that, are we going to get something to wrap it up? Tie it all together, seal it with a bow, and we did not. They wrapped up after that, and that was all she wrote. They jumped into the Treehouse Live afterwards, and yeah, I know. I felt afterwards a little indifferent. I was happy with, like I said, most of the titles announced. Pretty much every single game outside of Skylanders and probably Amiibo Festival are games I will be getting, I will be playing, that I am interested in. And normally I actually wrote down we're going to be having Star Fox Zero, Xenoblade Chronicles X, Super Mario Maker, Amiibo Festival, Yoshi's Woolly World, and Mario Tennis coming out for the Wii U. Those are all coming out this year. And then on the 3DS front, we have Hyrule, the Triforce Heroes, the Happy Home Designer, Yokai Watch, all coming out this year as well. We got then they have a bunch of games slated for early, spring to quarter 2 of next year coming out. So there were a ton of games they were talking about that are coming out, and again, they all look great, but they just didn't have that home run hitter to really drive it home. I know Zelda got pushed till next year, which is unfortunate, but I know a lot of people are really upset with this direct, and I guess I can't blame them because I know that stretch of Fire Emblem, Fire Emblem Cross, Shin Megami Tensei X. Those are sort of more niche games, more hardcore into the If you like your JRPGs and your strategical RPGs. Although I guess X is more of a Western RPG style open world game, but I can understand why people would be upset. But I think really if they had just rearranged how the direct had gone, or maybe a big one I think is that they didn't. They talked about a bunch of games we already knew. We knew Star Fox was coming. We knew Xenoblade was coming for forever now. We knew Super Mario Maker from last year. Woolly World again we knew was coming. Mario Tennis was a surprise, but it's a Mario sports game. It's going to be good. I have no doubt, but it's not. It's not that Zelda or that real big jump out of your seat excited game. Same with Triforce Heroes is a very nice surprise. I'm actually looking forward to that game a lot. But again, it's not anything insane. It's not going to have people running out and screaming the Wii U and the 3DS's name, that you have to buy it. Yokai Watch could be, if it catches on like it did in Japan, that's going to be a monster. But at this point, people don't probably know very much what it is, and the direct didn't do much to help awareness grow for that game. I just think maybe I would have finished up with Star Fox. It seemed like they hit us with Star Fox, and then the Skylanders thing, and then they went right into the Zelda games, and you're like, okay, they're rolling this out. They rolled out Ryu and Roy and Lucas on Sunday. That was a nice big announcement that they dropped it. Like these characters, these DLC characters are coming out, and they're coming out today. You could buy them right now, which was awesome. So leading up to it, we're thinking they're dropping all these bombs, they're dropping big things, and then just it finished flat. It finished flat for sure is what happened. And then I know some people, and I'm guilty of saying if they maybe just released another trailer, even just a 30-second tease of Zelda Wii U, but then that falls into what happened with Xenoblade, where we've seen it a million times and you're not excited. So I can't fault them for that, although I think if they had done that, it would have wrapped it up nicely. But I think their main problem was that all the games that are coming out we knew about. So they weren't surprising, they weren't shocking. If they had not mentioned Star Fox last year, or if they had not put out that Zelda trailer last year, and they hit us with brand new Star Fox we had no idea about, and they finished up with, even if it was the same exact trailer from last year that we saw from Zelda Wii U, people would have been ecstatic. They would have been talking Zelda Wii U, new Star Fox game, then they would have been more excited about, a Mario Tennis game and, Super Mario Maker, despite even knowing more about it. They would just that big awe game, like I think can't I just think we have everything here. All the supporting cast was great. You just needed that one to drive it home, or just that big surprise, and that just didn't come this year. But you know what? That's okay. I think at this point for the Wii U, they got to be gearing down, thinking more NX. I know people were thinking, are we going to get a new mainline Mario game? Are we going to Animal Crossing? But at this point, the Wii U's install base is pretty weak, and those games are just not going to get the love they deserve, or the play time. All of our current Wii U owners, I'm one of them, would love those games, would play the shit out of those games. But if those are two titles that launch with NX potentially next year, 2016, maybe, I don't know, it seems a little early, might be 2017. I don't know how it's exactly going to go. But if we have a Mario Galaxy 3 and an Animal Crossing at launch, that's going to be huge, and that will help, you know, push systems right off the bat, have a strong launch, and God knows NX is gonna definitely need it. So, but overall, not the greatest Nintendo E3 ever. Again, I've seen worse. You know, it wasn't Wii Music, that's for sure. But it wasn't great, wasn't horrible in my opinion. I know the gauge is probably pushed way more towards the negative side of things from the majority of people, but at this point, there are definitely going to be a lot of games that are going to be coming out this year that I will be playing, and I'm looking forward to that. So I guess that's really all I have to say. I'm streaming this now. I don't think anyone's in the chat watching, so it'll be archived on Twitch, but I'm also going to upload it to... Oop, there goes the controller. So I'm going to be uploading it to youtube.com/Stalfo14. If you want to catch it on Twitch, it's twitch.tv/Stalfo14 in the archive. I do eShop Thursdays. I download a new eShop title, and I play it and stream it and talk with you guys about it. That's done every Thursday on Twitch, and then it's uploaded onto YouTube. Pretty much anything I'm going to be doing on Twitch is going to be uploaded onto YouTube. So you can find me on either one of those, and yeah, I would love to hear any of your reactions or comments or what you guys thought of the E3 Nintendo Digital Direct and the Treehouse Lives, and what you thought about that. You can leave a comment on YouTube or tweet at me at case_jets. That's CASE_JETS. Alright, thanks guys. Catch you later.